The New York Times is apologizing for spreading fake news yesterday about the New England Patriots visiting the White House to meet with the president after they tweeted out these deceptive photos trying to compare a visit from 2015 when President Obama was in office versus yesterday's visit, giving the impression and claiming that hardly any Patriots players or staff visited the White House because they just hate President Trump. Other fake news networks like CNN, the Counterfeit News Network, picked up and perpetuated the hoax, causing the New England Patriots themselves to have to debunk this fake news by pointing out in the 2015 photo, the staff was standing on the stairs, but in this year's photo, they were seated behind the camera on the South Lawn. Jason Stallman, the New York Times sports editor and the twit behind the tweet, issued this statement saying, quote, "Bad tweet by me. Terrible tweet. I wish I could say it's complicated, but no. This one is pretty straightforward. I'm an idiot," he says. "It was my idea, it was my execution, it was my blunder. I made the decision in about 4 minutes that clearly warranted much more time. Once we learned more, we tried to fix everything as much as possible, as swiftly as possible, and as transparently as possible. Of course, at that point, the damage was done. I needed to own it." The hell are you talking about? You tried to fix it as soon as possible. The tweet is still up. 24 hours later, it has 74,000 likes. Jimmy Kimmel even mentioned it on his show yesterday and used these two photos as evidence that nobody likes President Trump. One more piece of disinformation about the Patriots' visit to the White House came also from the New York Times, the New York Slime. They ran this article: Tom Brady skips Patriots' White House visit along with numerous teammates. But wait a minute, what happened? I thought Tom Brady and Donald Trump were friends. He even had a Make America Great Again hat in his locker room. Oh wait, what's this? The New York Post reports Tom Brady skipped the White House visit to be with his sick mom, who has cancer, who is so sick, in fact, that she couldn't even attend one of his games last season. It should also be pointed out that some Patriots players didn't go to the White House because, well, they had already been there before. Or perhaps been there several times because of their history of winning Super Bowls. And so some of them are like, oh, I've been there, done that. Been there, done that several times. And so some of them didn't go for that reason. One more piece of interesting news about the Patriots visiting the White House I wanted to show you guys is that ESPN's Max Kellerman is upset that they even went at all, saying that they should have just boycotted it, calling it an authoritarian regime, and he's especially upset that Rob Gronkowski was playing around and interrupted Sean Spicer's press briefing and asked him if he needed any help, something that everybody thought was kind of funny, Sean Spicer himself included. Everybody laughed, and you probably have seen the video. But no, Max Kellerman didn't think it was funny. In fact, he said that Gronkowski is normalizing Sean Spicer, who works for an authoritarian regime. He said, when the press corps is cracking up at a press secretary because of an athlete's presence there, so he's lending something to the proceedings, the athlete is. And the press corps is, they're having a rollicking good time, and they're really laughing at the press secretary, blah, 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 blah. When that guy, Sean Spicer, is normalized and the press is yucking it up, that's a very bad thing. That's an unhealthy thing to have happened. It's an unhealthy thing to have happened. Meanwhile, Fox Sports' Joe Buck says that an announcer should stick to sports. He told Sporting News that, quote, "I think that people watch these games to get away from that stuff. I think you risk alienating and upsetting a lot of people when you start going down that rabbit hole." It's also interesting to note that Max Kellerman's employer, ESPN, is owned by Disney, which also owns ABC, A&E, the Marvel Entertainment Company, and a whole bunch of other media assets because they're one of the big 6 media monopoly companies in this country. Well, what do you expect? It's another day, another liberal lunatic being triggered by President Trump, and more fake news coming from the mainstream media. I'm Mark Dice, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and check back here every day for new reports, and we will continue to debunk, expose, and get a good laugh at these absolute lunatics every day. So stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.